Recently, Zayn Malik has been accused of harassment by Gigi and Yolanda Hadid. But some people can't accept that Zayn would do such a thing, and they believe that he was framed by Yolanda. So let's get into it. So as you guys have heard, Zayn Malik is being accused of striking Yolanda Hadid. Zayn is a British singer who was once in the band One Direction, but since then he has gone solo and he's been doing his own thing. Yolanda Hadid is the mother of Gigi Hadid. Gigi and Zayn have been on and off since 2015 and they have a child together. Yolanda is a celebrity herself because once upon a time she was a model and she's a TV personality. I remember her from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and we'll actually revisit those days towards the end of this video. But let's go ahead and talk about the idea that maybe Zayn was framed by Yolanda, because I believe that Yolanda and the rest of the Hadid family has had it out for Zayn ever since the start. Try to keep in mind that Yolanda went to TMZ last Thursday. She leaked this story, this fight that she had with Zayn, and it was before she ever went to the police. This fight or argument that they had was completely private up until this point. And even though the headlines claimed that Yolanda was hit by Zayn, that's not actually what he was charged with, because he was charged with 4 counts of harassment. This all went down on Friday, so one day after the news broke, and he was charged under the code A3, which means that he did not physically harass anyone. It may be verbal. So I just want you guys to know that an A1 code, charge is physical harassment, but his filing was under A3. So that means it was just verbal. At the end of the day, no harassment is ever acceptable. Verbal, physical, no harassment. But it's interesting because I remember talking about how Gigi charged him with harassment, and they were just talking on the phone. And I didn't know you could just charge someone with harassment over a phone call, but she did, and he pled no contest. So a lot of people are insinuating that Zayn is guilty because he pled no contest, which it makes sense because, at the end of the day, he is pleading guilty. But technically, when you plead no contest, that means that you don't want to plead guilty or innocent. You're just not going to pretty much acknowledge it, and by pleading no contest, you are acknowledging it, and you're accepting a guilty plea, but he's not saying that he did it. He's just, again, pleading no contest, which it's kind of confusing when you think about it in the real world, because you're like, what does that mean? But in the legal realm, it means that he's just not going to fight it, whether he's going to say he's innocent or guilty. He's just not going to admit to any of it. He's just going to kind of say, okay, I'll take it. It's kind of a light charge, even though he does get a good amount of probation. So ever since I released my first video on this situation, you guys have been like, okay, Zayn may have been set up by Yolanda. And I've been like, wait, what do you mean? Because at first I was like, okay, he's pleading no contest, so this guy's guilty. But after looking at some receipts, it does kind of look like Yolanda has been out to get Zayn. Before we get into the receipts, I have to give a shout out to this Twitter page. It's KikiZarry, and I'll list it below. They have found a bunch of articles where the Hadid family is talking bad about Zayn, and they have come with their receipts. So thank you so much, and I'll link them below, so go and check them out. But now let's go ahead and talk about some of the bad things the Hadid family has said about Zayn. So in August 2020, Yolanda was quoted talking crap about Zayn, her daughter's boyfriend, and actually now the father to her granddaughter, so you would think she would have a little more respect for him. And it just doesn't seem like Yolanda likes Zayn. You guys will see throughout this video, it seems like Yolanda wants to control the lives of her daughters, and here she claims that Gigi's in the prime of her life as a model and a businesswoman, so the last thing she needs right now is a bad influence boyfriend. And you'll see that term throughout this video because they constantly want to suggest that Zayn is some type of bad influence. So Gigi's mother, Yolanda, is incredibly outspoken, but she's not the only one to speak poorly about Zayn, because Gigi's father has also spoken about him before. So right up here in this article, they're talking about how Gigi gave birth to her daughter and Zayn's daughter, and how he was so happy for the baby and for Gigi. And down here, he talks a little bit about Zayn, and he says that the baby definitely inherited Gigi's genes. She is cute as her mother, so I'm happy. Forget about her father, he laughed, which honestly, it's not that mean, but it's pretty dismissive to be like, oh yeah, the baby's beautiful, she's so amazing, like she has Gigi's genes, like forget about the father. Like, what do you mean? You're acting like he's not family and not part of this baby? When it comes to Zayn's mental health, I think we all know that he struggles with anxiety. He has been very open with that, and I remember at one point he was canceling a bunch of his shows for a tour, so he has struggled with anxiety, and that's something that Yolanda has no time for. I just need to read this to you guys. So, Gigi Hadid's boyfriend, Zayn, is running in the opposite direction after his girlfriend's mother, Yolanda, allegedly trapped him in a bizarre anxiety intervention. The latest issue of Star magazine is reporting that sources close to the trendy couple are claiming that Yolanda is obsessed with curing the pop star of his anxiety issues. Yolanda supposedly likens herself to alternative medicine, and after her own dramatic quest with Lyme disease, she's now trying to, I guess, like cure Zayn. He and Gigi walked into this weird intervention type situation. Yolanda had 6 holistic healers chanting and throwing frankincense on Zayn, even speaking in tongues. It was like a scene from a horror movie. What the hell? A doctor told him he needed his blood drained and replaced with non-anxious blood. Zayn let Gigi know while her mom means well, this is making his anxiety worse, not better. So, it looks like Zayn has every right to run away, especially if this is how Yolanda thinks. Yolanda does seem like the type of person who forces her children into situations or forces people around her to operate how she does, believing that she's, always right and she's got the best alternative answer, which isn't always the case. But I do need to talk about Bella Hadid because Gigi has a sister, Bella, and it doesn't look like Bella likes Zayn either. Like, really doesn't like Zayn. Bella has been quoted before saying that Zayn is bad news. Again, suggesting that he's a bad influence, and I don't really get, why or where they got that from. We need to talk a little bit about this fight that Zayn got into not too long ago. It was with this man named Daniel, and this guy Daniel was calling Zayn a bunch of different names. Horrible names, the homophobic names. So not cool.
Wait, I want to see the fight. Let's go, right?
And of course, because this fight was filmed, it was big news, and the next day it was all over the internet. Obviously, it didn't look great for Zayn because who wants to be filmed getting into a fight? But it didn't look good for the Daniel guy either because he was saying some pretty horrendous things at Zayn. Well, it turns out this Daniel guy is actually best friends with Bella Hadid. And even though Daniel and Zayn got into a big fight, that doesn't change the relationship between Bella and Daniel, which you think it would because that's your family member. Zayn is technically your family member because now you have a niece because of Zayn. So I don't understand why she wouldn't stand up for her brother-in-law, even though they're not married or anything, but I feel like he's more a family than this Daniel guy. But here are some photos of Bella with Daniel that same night. As you guys can see, he's wearing the same jacket there. This photo was taken the day after the incident, and Bella was hanging out with that Daniel guy. So even though he said some horrible things about Zayn, about his race, and about, just gay people in general, she's over here hanging out with him. And actually, fans were pretty pissed at her over this. And again, after this attack, she continued to hang out with him, go to red carpet shows and things like that, and he tried to physically harm Zayn. So what kind of sister is this? I mean, I feel like if I was Gigi, I wouldn't want this guy around anyone. And finally, here's one more photo of Bella wishing Daniel a happy birthday. Again, this guy who tried to attack Zayn, and I wonder if she would wish Zayn a happy birthday. I mean, I don't know, but she's all over this Daniel guy. So it's clear to me that Bella Bella is not Team Zayn, and I wonder how Gigi feels about that. But I need to talk a little bit about Yolanda because, like I said earlier, she thinks she's right and she's got all the answers, and there's something about her that's really wrong. There are a bunch of moments while Yolanda was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills where she told her daughters not to eat because they needed to be skinny. In one scene, Gigi and Yolanda are on the set of some photo shoot. This is early in Gigi's career, and Gigi was really excited for all of the food, ready to eat it all up because they had food on set, but Yolanda warned her that she can have one day off. She says, you can have one night of being bad, right? Then you gotta get back on your diet because, you know, in Paris and Milan, they like the girls just a tad on the skinny side. So putting this mentality in her mind that she's just not good enough and that she needs to stay very thin.
I'm so excited for the food. Pretty much all the food that we're eating is like a heart attack in a meal. It's like, but it's gonna be so good.
It's good. You can have one night of being bad, right?
Yeah, I was actually really good this week.
Yeah. And then you gotta get back on your diet though. Because you know, in Paris and Milan, they like the girls just a tad on the skinny side.
This is something the fashion industry has been struggling with. But then we have people like Yolanda who's reaffirming the stigma that you have to be super skinny to be a model. So I'm gonna play some clips from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills where you guys are gonna see Yolanda encouraging her daughters to eat less. I want to give you guys a trigger warning because some of these clips are disturbing because Yolanda is teaching her daughters how to live an unhealthy lifestyle.
Modeling is a very feminine thing.
I know.
And that means sometimes we have to give up things that we love to do. You know, you have to make a choice.
Modeling is my job. Volleyball is my sport.
So their bodies are big and bulky and, I mean, they eat like men. I wanted her to develop as a woman. I thought that my daughter was lesbian. This is the hardest from being on our diet.
I have to have a bite for good luck, though.
But not too big. No, that's too big. The half of that. Gigi's in charge of her own diet, but to be on your best weight, you gotta make the right choices. This is you. You know what, Gigi? I think that's it. Yeah. I'll do this. How is it? I can't believe you just did that.
Oh my gosh, those clips are so hard to watch because it's so cringe. Like, how does Yolanda not know that this is not okay? I feel like it's a cultural thing. Like, she's just so blunt and cold with her approach and how she says things. I can't get over it. And honestly, I don't know how Bella and Gigi grew up with a mother like that. But ever since Gigi has been dating Zayn, her mother Yolanda continues to insert herself in their relationship. One insider close to the family told this reporter that the couple started fighting again, and Yolanda tried jumping in the middle. She is a meddler. She lectures him about everything, like he is some stupid kid, and she is the boss in his relationship. She tries to lecture him about his health, about how he should propose, how he should treat his daughter, and about a second child, and about what kind of music he should make. They also share that Yolanda lectures both of them on how to raise the baby. She thinks she's a second mother to their baby. She even wants to move in with the two of them and help raise the baby. They fought a lot about it. They had it with Yolanda. Gigi feels like she's caught in the middle, and maybe she was caught in the middle at that point, but it seems like she's on her mother's side. And ultimately, I don't understand the goal here because it seems like they're trying to divide their family. They all unfollowed each other on social media, including some of Zayn's family members. They don't follow them either, so it looks like they're just not cool. And supposedly one of Zayn's family members tweeted out, and I tell you more, the only reason they are pulling this stuff is to get the baby's full custody, and I wouldn't be surprised. So there are rumors that Yolanda and the Hadid family are just trying to get the baby. It really does seem like the baby would be Yolanda's motivation, because last time I was telling you guys, why would she make this public? Why would she make this public news? But it's because she wants to get this baby. She wants to have custody and control over it. Because honestly, did they fight? I mean, I'm not doubting that Yolanda Yolanda went through something with Zayn. I think something happened. I think that he's pleading no contest because something did happen. I don't think he's not acknowledging that. I just don't think he's pleading guilty because he's not like, we're not seeing the other side of everything. And I do think that there's some conniving things going on with Yolanda and that she wants her paws on this baby. Zayn has written in his book that he respects women and that he's always respected women. So I do believe that he respects women, but I also do believe that he probably talked a bunch of crap to Yolanda. Did he physically hit her? I mean, I don't know. Did he push her into the dresser? Who knows? Something obviously went down, but I don't think he's the type of guy that would do this again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to give this person second chances because what he did is not all right, but I also feel like he was pushed to this point like by design to try to help, you know, them win over custody of this kid. And these 4 charges aren't going to look good to a judge. And maybe that's why Zayn wanted to keep this private, because he knows he did something really wrong and he wants to keep it all on the down low because he doesn't want to lose custody. But at the end of the day, it's just not looking good for him or their entire family. Yolanda, Gigi, and Bella have all limited their comments on Instagram. So a lot of like Zayn's fans aren't happy with how they have treated Zayn throughout the years. And honestly, I'm not happy with it either because it seems like Yolanda was never really accepting of Zayn. I mean, I've looked into Zayn's past and we're all like human. We're not perfect, but he's really not like a bad influence. So why are they trying to paint him out to be such a bad guy when he really doesn't seem to be so? It just looks like she doesn't want Gigi to be with him, and this is how she's going about it. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Here is my email if you have any other video ideas for me, and let's go ahead and get a P.O. Box package item. Okay, so this package is from Bloom and Limen. So let's go ahead and check it out. I'm so excited. And they're also located on the East Coast, and that's where I'm at, so we love that. So we got a note right here. Oh, spooky season. Happy spooky season, Sloan. I love your channel so much. I hope you like the t-shirt. I have a ton of other designs on my Etsy shop. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh, and you sent me this Halloween t-shirt. Oh my gosh, it kind of looks like it'd be like, I don't know. It's like glowing right now. Okay, look at this. It's so, aww. It says best tea time. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I love it because it's like tea and then witches on it. Oh, and that's so cool that you printed this. It's like a really nice like print too. Like it's on there, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just sitting on it, it's like really in the shirt. So, oh, this is so nice. Thank you so much. And I think this is the only letter, so there's nothing really else. You don't have your name on here, but thank you so much, Bloom and Limen. I really appreciate it. Go and check out their Etsy shop. This is so cute and it feels really great. And you got my size right too, so thank you. I am a large, so I appreciate that. And I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Bye, guys.